Hello and welcome to the Tuesday Night Music Show, brought to you by DJ Event Planner. Have a look in the description of this video on YouTube for more information about them, as well as some of our other sponsors. So here's the game tonight, boys. And we may have some people joining us in progress here in a little while. Let's say that you had to introduce 80s music to somebody who had never heard 80s music. All right.
Nice.
What song would you recommend and why? We can go around the room with this and see how far we get with it and see what people are going to suggest. And remember, this person has never heard 80s music, but they'd like an introduction to it. You're going to turn them on to some stuff. What do you turn them on to and why? Who wants to go first?
Oh, man, that's a tough one right there.
Sort of need to know what kind of music they're into, and then you sort of guide them from there.
Well,
I'm going to go first.
General 80s. Go, JC.
Okay. I will turn them to The Cure. It's Just Like Heaven.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Why would you suggest that song?
Why? Because personally was one of the songs that marked me when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And because it has a lot of weird sounds, and it's fun, it's obscure, it's weird, so it's very, I think it's very 80s vibe. No?
I like that song, but what's funny to me about that song is every time I hear, I shouldn't say every, there are a lot of Cure songs that I hear that sound like they're practice songs for Just Like Heaven.
Yeah, that's
a lot of their older things sound like Just Like Heaven, but they finally got it right with that song. But I do really like that song. It's a good song. I'll do one. If I had to turn somebody on to 80s music, I think I would put them, just because it's such a diverse decade. There's so much stuff going on. I think the first song I would have them listen to, believe it or not, is Billy Idol's Rebel Yell.
Sweet.
It's well produced.
Why?
It's got a lot of energy. It's fun. I think it's a great song. And I think it would be a really good introduction to a part of the 80s that maybe we're not always focused on these days, but it's cool stuff. Nothing ever sounded like it before, and nothing ever sounded like it since.
That's a good one.
Nice.
Got your wheels turning.
I'll go next.
Okay, what do you got?
I'll go next. Because I think we can go around this room 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, and I got to keep track of the order, though.
Here's one. Here's one that comes to mind right away. A boo, a bee, a bow.
Lindsey Buckingham.
A boo, a bee, a bow. Trouble, Lindsey Buckingham.
Heck yeah.
And you want to know why?
Yeah.
You want to know why? It had such a great beat to it. It was much different than his background, Fleetwood Mac, I think, you know. It was just a well-produced song, and I love it. Trouble, Lindsey Buckingham, that's my pick.
Good pick.
Yeah.
So we got Damon and Eric left. Who wants to go first, and who's going? Okay, go ahead, Kev.
I'm going to go with, I guess, bubblegum, pop music, Debbie Gibson.
Which Debbie Gibson song?
Well, let me see. Which one was I thinking of? I don't know. I always like Shake Your Love.
Okay. Why would you pick Shake Your Love?
I just like peppy, upbeat music. It was youthful. It's just, my jam because that was right after I was in college.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it definitely is part of the 80s. It's big part of the 80s. Like you said, kind of the bubblegum, teeny, fun things. That was a big part of the decade.
I was bubblegum and fun.
My jam was Only in My Dreams, just so you know. And
that was mine, too.
That was my jam.
It's like the,
I just dug it.
Yeah.
All right, Damon, you're in the hot seat.
I got a couple, but this
song
here,
we're going to go around the room. So perfect.
I mean, this song right here is my all-time 80s jam. I mean, the moment I heard it, first of all, I was trying to figure out how high he was when he made this damn song. Okay? Because it's literally him and a drummer. And the song is Dem Dada by George Craig.
George Krantz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, think about it. He's just spitting drum sounds out, and he got a drummer following him. I mean, but
Well, he is the drummer.
see,
And do you know what it's really called?
I can't pronounce it. It starts with a T.
I tell you what, and the reason I'm saying this is because I remember I was in Germany
Yeah.
at Music Messe. I was with the EDJ crew. We're on the Autobahn and an Audi or something going really fast. And I'm talking about German songs. And of course, 99 Luftballons and all that stuff, and Falco.
Right.
I say, relate that song to Dada. And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, it's a German drum solo, Dada. And they're like, what do you mean? Finally, the guy driving goes, Tromotrans. Like,
Yeah.
what? Yeah, Tromotrans, but with roll the R. Tromotrans is what they call it over there. And I have the German 12-inch single back here that says Tromotrans on it now.
Yeah, I got the the original 12-inch German version of it, but at the same time, I can't pronounce that shit.
Yeah. That is a good one. That's electro,
Yes.
but it didn't start out to be that way. I don't know. It's just, like you said, it's an oddball.
It's an eyeball.
And hip hop used to be like that. It's not really hip hop, but they called it hip hop because
Yeah.
it was more of a culture thing than a music thing back then. But yeah, good pick.
All right.
All right, JC, back around to you. You're gonna
Yeah, I
recommend
have
a song.
another one.
Yeah,
It's Steve Winwood with Higher Love,
good one.
Beautiful.
because I love all the instruments and the saxo and everything, and I think just Steve Winwood has a lot of vibe, and
Yeah,
they probably go into a rabbit hole and start looking that he was in Traffic in another.
right.
in
And
another-
Blind Faith.
Yeah,
None of that stuff sounded anything like his '80s stuff.
yeah,
He was an interesting guy because if you listen to Blind Faith and Traffic, it's like, all right, we kind of know who this guy is. And I guess he's like in his late 30s, early 40s, and he does While You See a Chance in like 81 or 82 or something like that. And it's a brand new sound. And it was like a whole new career for him. So, he did the Riptide album, which I believe is the one that Higher Love is on. Is that Riptide? I think it
don't
is.
know.
Yeah. And he actually recorded Valerie like in 81 or something like that and re-released it on the Greatest Hits remixed and had a hit with that too. But yeah, really interesting sound with Steve Winwood.
Mhm.
Is it my turn again? There's a lot of stuff that I'd like to turn people on to, but I think the one that I really wanted to listen to is Little Red Corvette Prince. That song, for me, when I heard it, I had never heard anything like it before. Very well written.
Yeah.
R&B, but rock at the same time, but not at the typical R&B repetitive tempo. Just a very interesting song. So I think that would be one of my big recommendations for anybody who wanted an introduction to 80s music. Be Little Red, or anything off of 1999, but let's just go Little Red Corvette.
That was a great album. Great album.
Fantastic album. The interesting part about that album is he had toured with the Stones. They'd asked him to tour with them, and they got booed off stage and stuff thrown at him and stuff. And he left. He just bailed. He was supposed to do another show. He bailed. They actually got him to come back to do the second show, but it didn't go well. And he kind of disappeared for a while. They're thinking, well, he's going to quit music. No, he was writing the 1999 album. It was like his album to show them, hey, look, I'm better than you. You're suggesting I am here, booing me off the stage. And he showed them. He wrote enough material for several albums. Warner's like, well, you can release some of this other material for your next one. He's like, nah, I got another idea. And he did Purple Rain. So that's how prolific the guy was.
Yeah. Oh, man. That 1999 album was just so great.
It is.
Dance Music, Sex, Romance was my favorite song off that album.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on there. Lady Cab Driver's good too.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God.
All the critics
Right.
love you in New York. Was his song about this whole thing. They loved him in New York. That's why Mick brought him in to do the Stones thing. But then you go more mainstream and they don't get it. But
Yeah.
New York was just hip.
All right, we can go down that rabbit hole with Prince another time. 'Cause
I got stories.
Was
Okay, go ahead.
Erotic City way after that?
Erotic
Was
City
Erotic
was
City
the
way-
flip side of Let's Go Crazy,
Yeah.
which was the next album.
Okay. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. All right. My next pick. You guys are bringing up great dance tracks. I'm going to bring up a good ballad from the 80s. And it's called Night and Day by I'll Be Sure.
Ooh,
Oh, man.
nice.
Yeah. Oh my God. This was such the ballad if you were trying to get lucky, per se. And and the DJ throws this on, you're pretty much in. Okay. If you're dancing with this girl, what was, my God, this song was just such a powerful ballad.
Right.
If you don't know the song, look it up and listen to it.
Oh, it's yeah.
Someday, I'll be sure. I'll tell you, it was great. That's
Like
my
several other songs come to mind now that you mentioned that I'll be mentioning here. So
That
yeah.
song on a loud sound system, 808 kick was hitting so hard on that song.
Oh my God, it was great. It was great. That's one of my best memories from the 80s, like DJing in the 80s. It's like, even if you didn't know the song, right? You would grab somebody and bring them out to the floor. And then you made a memory that night. It was just right or wrong. It was
Yeah,
just
you're absolutely right.
right. Yeah, it was just great.
All right,
Who's-
Kevin, give us another one. What do you got?
Come on, Kevin, give it to me.
Give it to you. Give it to you. Well, I'm going to give you one that I actually bought the cassette of. It's in the same kind of sugary bubble gum.
Here we go.
She was a member of a group. She was very butch looking when she was in the group.
Are we talking Belinda Carlisle?
Yes.
Okay.
Heaven is a Place on Earth. I love that album.
Great song.
Yeah.
Great song.
Former Go-Go, right?
I got to see her a couple times at a couple events that she performed at the Mershon Auditorium, which is on Ohio State campus. And then the same year, she was at the Ohio State Fair. So I got to see her twice.
You're right though. Like I don't know the butch should be the word for it, but just very sturdy is how she looked on the last album Talk Show that the Go-Go's did with Head Over Heels on it.
Yeah.
And then as soon as she did Mad About You and Heaven is a Place on Earth, she was very girly and feminine looking. It was just a very
Yeah, it was
huge
like,
180
it was
that
like
she
a
did.
switch. It was like
Yeah.
a light switch.
Yeah.
Her
Right.
posture changed everything. She was like a different person.
Yeah.
And to this day, she's like that. If you see her, she's still got that glamorous, Barbie thing going on that she never had in the Go-Go's. That was a very punk, sturdy kind of thing going on.
I enjoyed their music in the Go-Go's, but it was just
Me too.
totally different when she became her own character.
Yeah, you're
And,
right.
Like she grew up.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was no longer a punk. She was a woman. It was, I'm 100% with you on that.
Yep.
All right, Damon, you're in the hot seat.
Oh,
Oh
damn,
man, yeah. I got to go back to my hip hop roots and stuff like that. To me, this is one of the greatest storytellers of all time, and especially coming out of the '80s. He went by the name MC Ricky D, then switched it to Slick Rick. I mean,
Oh,
I knew you were going there. I knew
Children's
you
story.
were going there.
children's story. I mean,
Yeah.
hands down, one of the best stories ever in hip hop. I mean,
Yeah. The classic stuff that
Yeah.
many of the, dare I say, kids today who are into hip hop have no idea what that is.
exactly. I mean, his wordplay, the way everything, it was so clear. Nobody sounded like him. Well, one person sounded like him, but it wasn't really, he kind of disappeared a little bit.
Yeah. The one I always kind of thought sounded kind of like him for some reason. I don't know why, but some of Dana Dane's stuff always
Yeah,
kind of
that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So we're on the
Dana
same
Dane
page
was the
with
only
that.
person that they sounded both alike, but they were both from Europe. So,
Dana Dane with fame.
yes.
Yeah.
Slick Rick, though, that was the greatest storyteller. I mean, out of the 80s, hands down.
Good pick. KC, what are you thinking? KC froze.
Oh,
So going to come back? I don't know. So I'll go while JC's frozen.
he's back. He's moving again.
No, he ain't moving on my side.
he's not moving here either. but JC, you with us?
Or he's really deep in thought.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, he's meditating.
All right.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
he's-
Come to him. Oh,
there he is.
There he is. Go ahead, JC, you're up.
Hey, you turn your mic back on. It's your turn.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I lost internet connection. It wouldn't be the 80s if you couldn't talk about the super groups that they were formed for collaboration. So what I really like is, for example, is the Power Station.
Oh,
with
good,
Some
good,
Like
good one.
It Hot.
Yes.
So you can introduce
Get it on. Yeah.
people from Duran Duran, Robert Palmer, and these types of collaborations that are very interesting.
And if I remember right, didn't Nile Rodgers or Barry Edwards produce that?
Maybe.
The Chic guys? I think they might have. If I'm wrong, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but I think they might have produced that. And that's a whole nother rabbit hole to go down with Nile Rodgers too.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
interesting because you can show, well, the 80s, everybody got together and they were great players and
Yes.
did outstanding things.
Good one. I'm going to go with, and I was inspired by Damon talking about 808. So I'm thinking of the most 808 song I can think of, which very much defines the 80s. This 808 was a drum machine. Roland made it. It turned up in all kinds of music. It still does today. I think Outkast was using it in the 2000s. But the song that just screams 808 to me is Loose Ends Hanging on a String.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
I think that would be a really good introduction to that whole vibe. Like, okay, a lot of music kind of sounded like this, had this sound in it. Check this one out. And I like the song. And a British act, just, yeah, as well. So, yeah, that's my pick. If you guys don't know Loose Ends Hanging on a String, you need to give it a listen.
I know that song, man.
I know you know it. I know you know it. I don't know. Eric, do you know that song?
I do.
yeah.
How about you, Kevin?
I'd have to chill at that one.
That one might not have made Ohio, so you're gonna have to listen to that one. That's a good one.
Yeah. I
What
mean,
did make Ohio? It's
Yeah.
your turn.
Or very vanilla. Oh, my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Oh, all right. I'm going to go with the biggest guy, I think, in the 80s. At least I think he was a guy.
Okay.
He had a problem with flaming hair at one point. With Michael Jackson. And Billie Jean, I guess, is my favorite one of those.
Yeah. It's a really good song.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that it's in our lexicon and it's like the most repetitive thing in our brains, but think about, we're all old enough where that song hit. Wow. That's an incredible song.
Yeah.
yeah.
Rock guys love that song. Everybody loved that song. Country people love that song. It's just a well done song, well written song, and an interesting song. So that's a really good pick.
Absolutely. He had a bunch in the 80s, though.
Yeah. Pretty much owned it, or majority of it.
A lot of it.
I mean, you think of the three biggest artists in the 80s, Prince, Michael Jackson, and Madonna.
Yep. Exactly.
You could do a whole night just on them three alone, and, you know, it won't repeat nothing.
No, you won't. And interestingly, yeah, you've got Quincy Jones on the Michael Jackson side. You've got Nile Rodgers on the Madonna side, and you've got Jelly Benitez there too.
Yeah.
And Prince, you just have Prince, man. He's
Prince.
just doing his own thing. He's not working. He's not collaborating with anybody else.
No.
See, now that you brought up Quincy Jones, is it my turn?
No, it's Damon's turn.
Yeah.
You skipped. I didn't even go.
He didn't go. Eric didn't go.
Oh, go then.
Oh,
I
forget it.
know. I'm sorry.
Forget
I thought I'd
Forget
get away
it.
with that. Sorry,
Forget
I missed
it.
it.
Damon, go.
It's going in a goofy order. I wasn't able to go in order. I had
Let's
to bounce
do it.
around.
Let's do everything Brian wants to do. This is his show.
Go ahead and go, Eric.
All right,
Go
I'm
on,
gonna
Eric.
go. I'm gonna go. Did
Okay.
Quincy Jones? I'm gonna stick with the ballads, and it's not a love song. Well, it's not like a Just Once, Quincy Jones.
That's James Ingram.
I'll tell you, that song is powerful.
That's James Ingram.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was James
No,
Ingram.
Producer
Just
was
Once,
Quincy Jones.
Quincy
Yeah.
Jones.
That's James
It
Ingram.
was Quincy Jones, Just Once. No, look it up.
He might have produced it. I don't know if he did, but
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna have to look that one
featured
up.
In the
That's a James
Quincy
Ingram song.
Jones got the credit. Quincy Jones got the credit for Just Once. I believe he was
thing
singing.
is, yeah, it wasn't his record. Just as the dude.
It's a
But
James.
it's,
Well, okay, but
yeah.
it's not the. Okay, I don't know the Quincy Jones song. Well,
Look
no,
up
it's the
Just
same.
He
Once.
produced for James Ingram.
Yeah.
So the song is actually James Ingram Just Once, but it looks like Quincy Jones produced it. But it's
Well,
on
it
the
wasn't
dude
his
too.
record.
This is confusing.
Why? Yeah. Why doesn't James Ingram get the credit? If you look up Just Once, it comes up Quincy Jones.
See, I didn't realize that. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is almost like a Sergio Mendes thing where Quincy does an album and has guest artists on it.
Yeah, I get.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
It must be.
I always
I
thought
had no
Just
idea.
Once was Quincy Jones. Period.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I love that song. It's kind of
Yeah.
like a Marty Ballin Hearts thing, right, Brian?
A what?
A Marty Ballin Hearts,
Yeah.
where you.
Well, okay, Just
Yeah.
Once is 1981 single released from Quincy Jones's album The Dude on A&M Records. The song features James Ingram on vocals. Interesting.
Okay.
I
so-
did not
Yeah,
know that.
I didn't know it was James Ingram singing either.
Yeah, well, the radio always said it was James Ingram.
Right.
No,
They didn't
I
say
heard,
it's Quincy
I
Jones.
always heard Quincy Jones.
Huh.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's-
know. Maybe
Interesting.
different areas, or
I learned something new.
whatever.
It happens.
That was my third pick. So now we're on to Damon,
Now we're on to Damon, yes.
and I can't wait.
Oh man.
Get me out of this mess, will you, please?
Okay. This is this is a song that every DJ plays when they have to go to the bathroom because the club owners never put a bathroom close enough to the DJ booth. So we need all 8 minutes
God.
of the damn song to get to the bathroom and back. And that's Tainted Love, Soft Cell.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Soft Cell. Mark Allman, the long version.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
As long as you have the long version.
Oh,
That
yeah.
one will do. Yeah.
With Baby,
Yeah.
where did our love
Like I
go?
said, we need all 8 minutes of it to make it across
Yeah.
the club, to get to the bathroom, and get back.
What the hell up?
But it's a great 80s song.
It is.
It has a really good vibe. Everybody just sings along with it and just have fun with it. And you can go in so many directions with that song coming out of it.
I can't remember who did Tainted Love originally, but I know the Supremes did Where Did Our Love Go?
Yeah.
Because it was like two songs that were remakes or and yeah, but I can't. Tainted Love originally is like a song from the late 60s,
Yes.
but they gave it a very different spin.
Trying to see who did the original one.
Good choice. Yeah, I can't remember. It was an R&B artist, I think. Tainted Love.
Tainted Love.
Gloria Jones,
Gloria Jones.
1964.
Might have been a Motown track.
Doesn't look like it.
I don't think I ever heard the original, to be honest. Yeah.
After the show, we'll have to spin it.
We'll
for
play it out.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever heard the original.
you. Yeah,
I've heard
it's a very different
Where Did
vibe.
Our Love Go? Like,
Very different vibe, but yeah.
Yeah, very different vibe.
All right, JC, what else do you have for us?
I will go with a very nice song from Phil Collins and Phil Bailey, Easy Lover.
Ooh.
love
Easy
the-
Love.
Somebody had to go Phil Collins.
Yeah.
It just had to happen.
That's another guy who had a bunch of hits in the 80s that was low key.
Amazing. I've
Yeah.
got nothing but respect for that man as a writer, as a musician, as a performer. The older I get, and it's all stuff before Invisible Touch. It's
Yeah.
I had no time for that. Or the Disney stuff, but the Genesis stuff with like Abracab, the Face Value, the even No Jacket Required. Okay, fine, but I like the singles. I like Duke. All that stuff is really fantastic. He did that song for the movie White Nights that I don't think was on any of his albums.
Right.
Against All Odds is an amazing song. That's another soundtrack. And
my God.
did you know, and you probably did, he was the one who produced the Frida album with There's Something Going On it. That's him. I didn't know that until recently. But
Oh.
I regress.
Mhm.
Oh crap, it's my turn. Okay, here's another one that I think that people need to hear if they want a taste of the 80s. It's a beautiful song. I don't play it nearly enough, but going back to the ballads, like Eric was talking about, that would be Force MD's Tender Love. And Eric froze.
What song was it again? I missed it.
Force MD's Tender Love.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yes, you are. Force MD's Tender Love.
Oh, Force MDs. Force MDs. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jam
you're
and
right.
Lewis
Yeah.
produced that.
And
For the Crush Groove soundtrack.
Yes. Yes.
It's very 80s. I mean, this was a beautiful song.
Yeah.
Jam and Lewis, they produced all the Janet Jackson stuff.
Oh my God. You know what? Oh, you just brought a song to my head that I'm about to mention.
Well, they did SOS Band. They did Herb Albert. They did a lot of stuff, but that was them on that.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Force MDs. I forgot about that one. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good song.
I'm pushing the wrong buttons on my laptop here.
That's happening. We're not stable internet tonight. Eric,
Oh.
your mic is muted, and as soon as you unmute it, you can tell us what your pick is.
Sorry, I just lost internet again.
Happens.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm back.
That was me last
Can
night.
you hear me? Can you hear me? Everybody all right?
Yep.
No tin
Is this
can.
thing on? Yeah.
Yeah. Hello. Is this on?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Dara Hall and John Oates. You make my dreams come true.
Good pick.
I love it. I just love. They always kind of had the same style, but this song was a little different. I think when, like, you think back, like Rich Girl and Kiss on My List. You make my dreams kind of was a little rocky for them. I think
It's very bouncy, and it's in a major chord instead of a minor chord.
Yeah, I love that track, and it still works for me today.
Oh yeah. Turn up in a movie or a TV show or something, and that's the song the millennials want to hear.
It was in a commercial, actually. They used that song in a commercial. Don't ask me which one. I don't know. But
when I'm gigging, I'll do that song, and I'll get the young people out for it. And then the older people come out and say, why are the young people dancing to this song? And then I'll follow it up with the Rich Girl, and the young people be confused because the old people get really excited. I love doing that. It's fun.
But that was my pick. Anyway,
Good pick.
Sorry about the internet thing.
You better be.
But
Come on.
I am very apologetic.
Yeah. Good. Don't let it happen again. All right, Kevin, what do you got?
Well, I'm going to go and jump out of the sugar bubblegum kind of things, jump more over into the Billy Idol area, and I'm going to go with three guys. Two of them like to have a big long beard, and they had to sit at the back of
Here we go.
high school. I'm going with ZZ Tops. And
With the four guitars? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. They had spinning guitars. I love their videos. That's some of the reason why I like some of these songs. Some of the videos just put it over the top.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with it's so hard to choose. I'm going to actually choose "Give Me All Your Lovin'."
That's a good
I thought you were going
one.
to say Legs, but "Give Me All Your Lovin'" is a much better choice. Yes.
Yeah, that was the first one that I heard off of the Eliminator album.
Yeah.
Then shortly after bought it, thinking, this is ZZ Top? This is like the LaGrange guys? Heck yeah, let's do this. This is fun.
I love
that. Was a neat comeback. Really, I mean, reinventing yourselves as artists, that was a really cool. The Eliminator, and even Afterburner, I really enjoyed that too.
But I think Legs really put them on the map after as a comeback. But "Give Me All Your Lovin'" was my favorite.
Well, "Give Me All Your Lovin' was between MTV and Friday Night Videos with that car.
Yeah.
Forget about it. It was over. I don't care who you are. You were like, yeah, that.
No, I get
That's
it.
cool.
I get it, but I still think, as much as we love that one, I think Legs was probably higher charted.
Sharp Dressed Man is the one that I think I've played
that's
the
another
most.
one. See,
Yeah.
that's another one. Yeah, yeah.
The one I always liked, nobody cares about, and it's off of Afterburner. It's called Stages. And I always thought that was a great song, but it didn't grow legs like legs. The other ones, though. All right,
Awesome
Damon.
choice.
I
Awesome
think
choice.
am I doing this right? Yeah,
Whatever.
your turn.
You just, yeah.
All right. Okay. I got to bring back that 808. I mean,
Of course.
this is my wheelhouse here. This is
Yeah.
me in the 80s. This is what our group was, gigging to. Okay. They had the craziest producer ever, but this 3 MCs killed it, especially where they played the beat backwards and flowed over it. And you got to say Paul Revere, Beastie Boys.
Yeah, the Jewish rappers.
I mean, oh my God, that song went platinum in my neighborhood alone. Everybody had that cassette. I mean, a 1984 Ford Escort, 215s in the back. They took the home stereo speaker out of the house, stuck it in the trunk.
That was a bait and switch album where, in my world, living out in the burbs at the time when I was a kid, you heard Fight for Your Right to Party and No Sleep Till Brooklyn, and it just kind of sounded like this who cares punk rock kind of thing. And they were punk rockers.
Yeah, they were.
And I had no time for it. It was like I don't care about this. And this was back in the day when I had a really good stereo. I had a cool stereo with separate components in it. I had a CD player. I had a really nice TAC tape deck, and I would buy the really good chrome tapes so I could borrow my neighbor's CDs and record them onto the cassette. So I was collecting all this music this way. And my neighbor, I went and raided his collection. He was not like my pal. He was just my neighbor. And I'm like, all right, I guess I'll take this Beastie Boys one too. Just put it on the flip side of a 90-minute cassette. Holy crap, the rest of the album was very different. Yeah. It was so good. And the one that sticks out in my head, and it's the intro to it that gets me, is Rhyming and Stealing.
Yep. Very good track.
Just a subtle little, just that little scratch right there.
Yeah.
That's scratching. It's not a routine. It's just something that happens within your mix. And that was perfect. On that, what was it? The Sweet Leaf was the track. It was Black Sabbath Sweet Leaf was what they were using as a loop for Rhyming and Stealing.
Yeah.
But yeah. There's not a bad song on that album. Paul Revere backwards is really bizarre. Super fun.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That song, that tape CD we had to tape. I mean, it went platinum in my neighborhood alone. I mean, it was just everybody had that tape. So,
and you're absolutely right. Their producer was insane.
Yeah, Rick
Rubens is nuts. Yeah,
he was crazy. It still is.
Yeah, he still looks a little nutty. Seeing that dude driving around like a mountain man in a Rolls Royce is really bizarre, but that's what he does.
That's what he does. All right,
JC, it is you, man, my friend. You are next. What do you got?
One of my favorites in the 80s because it's of the song and the tribal sounds and where it took me where I was alone at night, only hearing my stereo. It was Peter Gabriel's In Your Eyes. It took me.
God, that's a great.
Lower the place.
That's a good one.
What a great track. Yeah.
Great representation of the 80s as well.
Yeah.
Really good representation of the 80s. I like it.
This is why I love this show, is because somebody will say something like, like JC just did. And I'm like, wow, I forgot about that song,
Yeah.
This is great, Really, that's such a great track, man.
There's a lot of fun music from the 80s that's just simple. Right. It's not complicated at all. It's simple. Then there are other songs in the 80s that are a little more complex than meets the ear.
Right.
And the one I will pick that has some incredible musicianship and songwriting in it would be Level 42, Something About You. That's my pick.
Level 42. Wow. Something About You, babe.
Yeah, there's another song that was the follow-up that's really good too, called Lessons in Love.
Okay.
Something About You is a really nice song. What, are you confused on this one, Eric?
No, I'm not. I know exactly what you're talking. Both of them. Why are you picking on me?
Because you look inquisitive. Lessons in Love. That was great too.
No, I know both of those.
All right.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
The bass on that is insanity. Mark King is just an incredible bass player and just a world-class guy to this day. And if you can hear past the synthesizers and the harmonies of the singing, you hear that bass line, and it's wicked on that track.
Does anybody in here don't know those both tracks?
Don't
I
know
know
what-
the second one. I don't know about the first one. I'd have to. A lot of times, it's like once I hear it, like, oh yeah, I know that one.
Oh, you'll know it. You'll
Yeah.
totally know it.
No, I know both tracks. I think they're both great. But I don't know if they were like, if I was going to introduce somebody to the 80s, that's just my opinion. Like,
Oh, it's more of a
Well,
fringe.
the reason I picked that track, like I said, is because there's a lot of simple stuff, and we've picked a lot of simple stuff. That's good.
Right.
But
Right.
then there's songs that are just real compositions, and I feel like that song is one of those great songs that's a real composition. It's got some really good
and I'm
music.
proud of everybody because nobody brought up I want to dance with somebody Whitney Houston.
You just did.
No, but that's
All right, Kevin, it's your turn. Sorry.
I'm just saying though that's like the obvious, you know. And
Yeah.
we're all picking stuff out.
I didn't
I
know.
love it. I love it.
Jackson.
That's
What?
okay.
No.
Well,
No, that's
what do you got, Eric? It's your turn.
I'm going to give us an obvious one this time.
Okay.
This is kind of reggae, kind of disco, kind of adult contemporary. Depends on how you look at it.
Okay.
Mr. Lionel Richie, All Night Long.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Love
about that.
track. I love it. It's a little bit of everything all in one,
It is.
you know. And I've always loved that track. Always had good luck with it. Yeah, granted, it starts out a little slow, but once he gets going, the floor is packed. You know,
Yeah.
that's
You did
my,
a really nice job on that whole album.
Oh, I'll tell you, that whole album was great. Yeah,
My
you're
favorite
right.
track on that album is Running with the Night.
Huh.
That's
Don't
my
get me
jam on that.
started with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. But All Night Long, I think he had the most success with that one. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still play that to this day.
I think we all do if we have the chance. Yeah,
Yeah.
as you should.
Mm.
But anyway, that's my pick. But
All right, Kev. Now you can go.
we don't have enough time to really finish all these.
That's okay.
We can go on all
we're
night.
just giving some recommendations
Right.
to someone who has no idea what 80s music sounds like.
All right, Kevin, give me Belinda Carlisle. Go ahead, go.
No, I already did that. I'm going to go. I'm going to go to a song that was in a movie, and I like this sport, and I thought the movie was a hoot. It is "I'm All Right" by Kenny Loggins.
Kenny Loggins.
Excellent choice.
I love the dancing gopher.
It's an
Right
amazing
away.
song.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
away, you're on Brian's side when you say,
Yeah,
Kenny.
right. You're kind of pandering to me at this point if you're talking about Kenny Loggins.
Yeah,
But
so,
that's okay. You're right. It's a great song.
yeah, I always love that song, and it's one of those songs where it's like, just play it, and I just feel happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, was that 79 or 80s?
It's at 80. I was
It hit in 80s.
going to do Danger Zone if I needed to.
Well, you could have did Footloose too. That was definitely.
Nah, I think I'm all right is his better choice.
Oh, I love them all. Yeah.
I'm not a
Well, no, that song is really unique.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's a very good track.
Wasn't Stevie Nicks in that a little bit? Oh no. Well,
No, she was in Whenever I Call You Friend.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. All right.
All right, Damon, you can go.
Oh, Damon.
oh,
I
it's my
can't
turn?
wait. Damon always gives us a good
What's he
one.
gonna do?
Yeah.
Oh man, these four guys, every couple years when they come to Detroit for the Detroit movement, Electronic Techno Fest, they always do like a little pop-up show where they just come and hang out. But if it wasn't for these four guys, I would not have learned how to count in German.
Uh-huh.
After the fire. No.
No.
Kraftwerk, numbers.
Oh my God.
I
You're
mean,
going way back.
Was that 80s?
yes,
I don't
Numbers
even
was 80s.
know.
Okay.
Numbers
It
was
must
like
have been
82.
No, it
Okay.
must be 1980.
Yeah.
Kraftwerk.
That's and look, you made him freeze. See what you
I
did?
didn't make him freeze.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I didn't. I'm telling you, but what a great song that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything Kraftwerk was just interesting. And what's funny about Kraftwerk then was that they were always been electronic, but then they heard Giorgio Moroder doing things with electronic sounds with dance beats, and then they started doing that, and it just got very, very interesting.
Right. Yeah.
So, Matthew, welcome to the show. Here's what we're doing, and we got probably about 15 minutes left or so.
Not even.
We're pretending that we're talking to somebody who's very interested in 80s music, but they don't know anything about it. We're going to recommend a track to them. So if you had to recommend a track to somebody who'd never heard 80s music before, what track would it be and why? You got to turn your mic on to tell us all about it.
You're up.
You're up.
He's got.
Let's go, Matthew.
He's got to do five.
Mom's got the TV going again. So
That's okay. Just talk over Mom.
yeah. Boy, I'm trying to think of one. Right off the top of my head, you put me right on the spot.
Well, we
Come on,
can skip it and let it roll for a minute.
Yeah, give me a little time.
Okay,
to
you think about it. In the meantime, JC's got one on deck. He's
Yep.
can't wait to share with us. I can tell.
Yeah. From another is the original soundtrack, Vision Quest, Madonna, Crazy for
Crazy
You.
for you. Nice.
It's one of my favorite Madonna songs.
Yeah, that was. I think she did that between her first and second album, didn't she?
Yep.
It was right there in between that one and Like a Virgin.
Mhm.
It's a good song. It's a very good song. I think did Jelly Bean do that one? He had to have.
Yeah, I think so.
It sounds like a Jelly Bean Benitez song.
Yeah.
Well, Bonita, yes, but I don't know about.
No, Jelly Bean Benitez.
Oh.
No, different guy. That the guy who
That's
produced
the
the first
Isla
album.
Bonita.
La
Yeah.
Bonita.
No, not La
Isla
Isla Bonita. No,
Isla.
very different. That's okay though. It's okay. You know, I was actually going to do a Madonna song, but since you just did a Madonna song, we've touched on that. I should probably do something else. Let's go with a song that I heard for the first time. I'd never heard anything like it, done quite like it. I thought it was absolutely amazing. And it's maybe a song that you don't play for full dance floors, but it's a song you play to crowd please. And that would be Duran Duran, Hungry Like the Wolf.
I still love that song. Yes. Yeah.
It is a fantastic song. And to put it in perspective again, when I heard it for the first time in 1982, I'd never heard anything like that in my life. It was amazing.
No.
Good
The
stuff.
arrangement, everything about that song was just different. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just from the little laugh at the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't
Yeah.
hear that, right? I mean, yeah.
Well, everything about the way the percussion was done, the cool little crazy sequence things going on in the background, that rock guitar on top of it all.
Yeah.
It was like a rock song, but a dance song at the same time. It's like, what is this? Like we've just merged two things, and the production was amazing on that stuff.
And then, like, what about the end of that song? Like when she's going, Ma, or whatever she's screaming at the end, right?
Yeah, well,
Ma,
there's
it sounded like Ma, but
now she's moaning, but
is
that's
it
another
just a
show.
moan? Yeah.
So this is a family show. So well,
I was too young for the moaning, I guess.
speaking of family show, I got one that I'll mention next time around that I totally think should be mentioned if we're talking about 80s, but I'll
Right.
save it for last or the last round. Eric, what do you got for your pick?
All right. This is not by all means a floor filler
Mm.
the 80s, but I think the song was really good. And it's by, they had a couple hits. Shout. I'm talking about Tears for Fears.
Yes,
Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
good pick.
The words, I mean, you could probably dance to it. I mean, if you wanted to. but I just thought it was a great song from the 80s.
Well, in the 80s, they were dancing to it. They wouldn't today, but they did in the 80s.
Right.
They found a way to dance to that song.
Yeah, you're right. Like back in the 80s, they would dance the morning train.
Right. Or Be Near Me by ABC or something. Right. Yeah, they didn't care. They just danced.
There was something about Everybody Wants to Rule the World that I just thought was, I don't know, it was kind of, I don't want to say special, but just like the words to it.
It's a good song.
Right.
It's a really good song. It's their most popular song by far.
I thought Shout might have beat that. No?
Not as far as popularity goes. I mean, today in the lexicon, it's still Everybody Wants to Rule the World off that Songs of the Big Cher album, which I bought when it came out. I thought it would still have it. It's really good. The one I liked off of that one was Head Over Heels. That was my favorite.
Another great one. Again, yes.
Everything about that song was amazing. But yeah, the other one was good too.
So that was my pick. Did Damon get to go before he went?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I dropped numbers, remember?
He dropped numbers and he froze and we ad-libbed and then he disappeared and came back. So he's good.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we'll go Kevin.
All right. I'm going to go with a group that are not performing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They were very newsworthy. It was Huey Lewis and the News, The Heart of Rock and Roll.
I love everything they've done.
Yeah, I was going to go Power of Love because I like that from the movie soundtrack. But I think what Hard Rock and Roll is, I think they're the big one on that.
It was either that or I Want a New Drug. I don't know which one did better off of sports.
Well,
but they're great songs.
Yep.
I mean, the whole album was good.
Dum, 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 you know,
Heart and Soul was my jam.
Mm.
That was my jam off of that one. But yeah, great choice.
They had such a they all seemed different. And actually, remember when Huey did? I don't want to take up too much time, but he did like a 60s or 70s or 60s or 50s, 60s.
I remember It's All Right, Have a Good Time because it's all right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Did a whole album of like remakes.
Like doo-wop stuff.
Covers. Right. Yes.
Yeah,
that's a doo-wop. Yeah. And I really enjoyed that album too, you know? Anyway, go ahead.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
So Damon, you go ahead and go, and then we'll let Matthew go last in this round. Since he just showed up, late to class.
All right.
Matthew.
Well, in the early stages of MTV, we was talking about ZZ Top with their car and all that stuff. But when I saw this video, it was very futuristic. And I was like, who the hell this guy is? But he had a killer-ass futuristic car in it. Okay? Tom Petty, You Got Lucky.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You didn't know Tom Petty before You Got Lucky, though?
No.
No? Okay. Hey, I'm not judging. I'm just saying
I'm not judging, but come on.
I'm not judging. He had many hits before that. I'm just surprised.
Well, I mean, when I was like, what, 13, 12, 13 when the song came out?
Okay, that makes sense, right.
So, I mean, it was like all R&B and hip-hop at the time, So,
sure.
I didn't know we had a baby in the room tonight.
Well, I'm 53, but that's where my music was at that time. I wasn't
53.
Yeah. So I guess I am a baby to some people.
Yeah. Well, to Eric, you are because he's old as hell.
Yeah.
I walked past the cemetery today. 2 guys ran after me with shovels.
That happens.
Yeah.
But You Got Lucky. That song was like, I was like,
and I did get lucky.
Tom Petty is that sound. And I think everything he did after that was a Jeff Lynne production.
Okay.
Like from there on out, it was like, Don't Come Around Here No More and Running Down a Dream and all that.
Yeah.
Where it really started to sound like ELO, Jeff Lynne influenced, Beatlesque stuff.
Right.
You better watch what you say. I love that track.
Yes, yeah. Track.
You better watch what you do to me.
Yeah. All right, Matt. Do you have something? Have you figured something out? Have you pulled something out of your
hat?
deep there back in your brain?
Okay, so let me get clarification on exactly. It's an 80s popular song that what now?
let's just say that you met somebody who had never heard an 80s song before and you were putting together some songs for them to check out to be a good sample of what you feel like is great about the 80s. What song would you give them?
Okay. Yeah. Well, we already touched on Huey Lewis, and that jogged something in my head. And I want to say, what I'm looking in my virtual DJ right now to see if I can.
All right, time's up. Time's up.
You know, it was a remake of an old song, and I want to say the guy's name was like Thurston something, or
Oh,
what
I
the
know
hell was
where
his
you're
name?
going. I know where you're going. Yeah, you
Little
are
Bitty Pretty One.
Little bitty pretty one, and Huey Lewis did that too on that album.
He did. Yep.
That I'm
Yeah,
talking
that's
about. Yeah, with the doo-wop, little bitty pretty one.
Yep.
Is that what you were getting at?
That's that's one I was trying to think of. Yep.
Okay, yeah, and I love that version Huey did, by the way.
Yeah. But was that 80s or was that?
Well, I don't know when he released that
I
album.
don't.
It could have been 80s. Who knows?
All right, JC, what do you got?
I've got a group that it's very nice. Also, it's Spandau Ballet with
Oh, true.
It was right here. I was thinking about spitting it out, but I'm glad you did.
Yep.
It's a great song.
So true.
It was the big breakout on this side of the pond.
Huge ballad. Huge ballad for them. Huge. Yeah. I mean,
PM Dawn sampled it. Somebody else sampled it too.
oh yeah, that was sampled a lot.
Yeah,
Right.
Set Adrift on a Memory Bliss was
Yeah.
that. And then something else sampled it too. I can't remember what. Something a lot more like
Upbeat.
deeper rap kind of thing. But no, great choice. So
Nice.
I'm going to go with one that I can't believe got past the censors.
Uh-oh.
I also can't believe that I didn't catch it, even as a 13-year-old when it hit. I can't believe my mom didn't catch it. I can't believe the radio stations didn't catch it. I can't believe. And the crazy part about it was, not only did we not catch it, but I'm like 12, 13 years old running around with the T-shirt. Nobody caught it. And that would be Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Relax.
Relax before you want to come. Yeah.
When you want to come. Yeah. Nobody caught that. England banned it. We can't play this on the radio. They got it. We're like, oh, what does that mean? That must be something British we don't understand what that means. And no, it means exactly what it says it means. But we didn't understand that. I didn't understand it. Did you understand it, Kevin?
No, I didn't realize that meant that. No.
And if anybody said, oh, when you want to, oh, you're just thinking dirty. They're British. They talk different.
Wow.
Another one that was sort of in that vein that my uncle told me is like, what are you talking about? He said this song called Turning Japanese.
Yes.
Has
That
something
is
to do with-
exactly what your uncle said it was. Yes.
Yep.
because, I was like, oh, you're kidding me. No, that's.
Well, if you listen to the song, it makes sense.
Yeah. I didn't, it went right over my head.
That one, I understand how it got past the censors, but the Relax, no way. No way. It just.
Oh, look who's here.
Give us your last one. What do you got?
Who, me?
Yeah. Your name Eric? Go fool.
Well, I didn't hear you. You were too busy on Relax. But
So with turning Japanese.
here's one that actually still, and again, it's probably not a floor filler, but if somebody's just learning in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
Here's one that I would recommend. Don't You Forget About Me, Simple Minds.
Good choice.
I really think that song was great, and I'll throw it down today. Maybe if people are coming into the venue, or I wouldn't try to do it in a dance set, but it was such a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Simple Minds, Don't You Forget About Me. That's final answer. Who's next?
Nice. Now we go to Kevin.
All right. Well,
Last one. What do you got?
I was gonna. I'll save the one and maybe do that for our record thing.
Okay.
One. Can't tell you a lot about it, but I always like the song.
Yeah, it's okay.
The song is "Too Shy" by
Kajagoogoo.
Oh, Kajagoogoo. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always like a nice smooth melody. It's like, oh yeah, I like it's just very mellow. Love that.
Produced by Nick Rhodes of Duran Duran.
Oh,
Yeah. That's probably why you like it. Because it's got that same vibe to it. It's all Birmingham stuff. But yeah, great song. And I think that would be really good on a here. We want to turn you on to 80s music list of songs to check out. That would be a great one.
Yeah.
Nice work.
I try.
You did well. Matthew, do you have one more for us?
I do. How about Wham! Wake Me Up Before You Go Go.
Excellent choice.
Oh, great.
Excellent choice.
A little jitterbug. Yep.
Excellent choice.
Nice.
And George Michael, let me tell you that he's more than what people give him credit for. The guy was gifted. He wrote that stuff. He produced that stuff.
Super talented.
Super talented.
Yeah.
An amazing singer. Just a multi-talented guy. I think most people just, he was just like, look at him like he's like some guy in a boy band who's just handed notes. No, this guy wrote this stuff. He produced this stuff. He knew how to put an album together.
And I can say the same for Boy George. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is one of the best bands ever. Culture Club.
And nobody brought them up. But I'm telling you, I can say the same for him. I mean, he was also super talented.
Yeah, well, he still is. I mean, he's still with us. They're touring. And he looks great, by the way.
Yeah.
He really looks, the whole band looks fantastic. And they're singing all their songs like a key lower so I can hit the notes, but they're still out there. But yeah, amazing. Small but amazing catalog. Yeah. Agreed 100%.
Okay. Isn't he still a judge on like America's, or not America, but Britain's Got Talent or something like that?
I don't know. I know they were touring last year. He might do that too. I don't know.
Yeah, he was in The Voice in Australia.
The Voice.
The Voice, yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it's like a British version of The Voice or something like that.
Could be.
Yeah.
All right, Damon, take us out.
Take us home, Damon. Take us home.
I am. So when this guy came out, people didn't really know how to take him. You had Michael Jackson on one end that was, little Michael Jackson that grew up. Mm-hmm. This guy came out wearing a trench coat, ass hanging out.
Oh, shit.
Was controversy music around. Hey, I got to say Controversy by Prince.
There you go.
I mean, he's right before he really blew up. This was that album to me.
It was still the punk funk thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And lyrically, you couldn't describe the 80s better.
Yeah.
With the androgynous, am I black or white, am I straight or gay kind of thing. It's
right. I can't believe all the things people say,
Right. Yeah.
That was probably like the start of the 80s, if you really thought about it, right? Controversy. I mean,
that was 81.
81.
So, I know.
Dirty Mind was 80. That was really weird. That was.
Yeah, but guys, if you're looking at 1980, you had what? You had a bunch of country stuff coming over. Like, you know what I mean?
It was underground stuff.
Right. Yeah. You're looking at Controversy. That was like the beginning of like the 80s in my eyes. I'm not lying. I mean, you had Driving My Life Away, Ronnie Mills set. Yeah. I mean,
is that Controversy? Is that the same album that has Sister on it?
Yeah,
I think. Yep. Yeah. Another show, folks. And there's some recommendations for someone who has never heard 80s music before from some DJs who were there and love the 80s. Thought it'd be an interesting show topic this week.
Perfect.
Okay.
Mr. John Cawley is here off camera for his record roundup, which we record immediately after this show. So we should probably go so he can do that. He's had a busy day breaking down 3 systems.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. Thank you for watching.